All right, welcome back, folks. Got a pretty good feedback on the last video, so let's continue. You just pulled on a thread that does not end, but I appreciate it for all the feedback. And I'm honored. And I want to address one thing here with any of these videos, anything I say. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. But there's obviously a hunger and a curiosity for this type of knowledge more and more in society now. People are waking up. And it's slow. And it's absolutely painful. But people are waking up. And that in itself is a wonderful thing. One thing I have to do in these videos is address the darkness. I have to address what's fucked up in this world. We have to acknowledge that. That's how we know which direction to go. But the overarching theme of all these videos I make is 100% positive, good, and overwhelmingly, I can't talk, it's cold as shit out here. Overwhelmingly, a feeling of gratitude for existing in this world. I mean, look how fucking beautiful this is. It's absolutely amazing. We have to be grateful for being here with all the dark, tragic, absolute nonsense going on. We have to find a way to be grateful and positive and keep going, keep pushing, keep fighting. We know what's right. There's a saying that goes, it's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they've been fooled. I used to say that a lot. I used to think it was Mark Twain, but it actually isn't. He said something more along the lines of, it's easy to make people believe a lie, and it's a lot harder to undo the work that's been done because of that lie. Pretty much the same thing, but obviously there's an awakening happening. Obviously, with everything coming to light more and more nowadays, it's pretty obvious that this world is in a very unstable and chaotic point of human history. But again, I think that's an artifact of people waking up. I mean, if I can express my own personal journey in, waking up, which I'm still very, very deep into, and it's going to be the rest of your life. But one thing I can say is it's painful. It's fucking hard. It's scary. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of discomfort. And, that's why I personally avoided doing a lot of that work, with the little bubble of comfort we build around ourselves, even though that comfort is accompanied with constant anxiety and fear and, bouts of depression, along with gratitude and happiness. It's a whole spectrum, but It's fucking hard, and it's a process to wake up and to start to realize a lot of the things that have been programmed into you growing up in this society are not what they seem. And those programs, I mean, I'm 39, I'm almost 40. It's like these programs are ingrained into you from the first memories that you could possibly have. It starts when you're a child, and you think, man, could it really actually be not what I thought it was? And unworking literal decades of core programs and beliefs that you believed in your entire life, that you based your decision making off of your entire life. Come to find out, those beliefs aren't exactly what you thought they were. I'm kind of going light here. I mean, this ties into literally everything we deal with, how you perceive the world, how you wake up in the morning, the decisions you make along the way throughout your day, how you spend your time, the decisions you make within your relationships, everything. It involves literally everything. And at this point, obviously people are curious for what's true. So what is true? Well, I'm going to drop another quote here because it's so good, but it's from Plato. He said, "The only universal truth is the truth of the soul. All other truth is transient." We're not on this earth for a very long time. It kind of seems like it's like, man, I've had a pretty eventful life. It feels like I've been here for quite a while, but looking back, it's like, boom, I'm almost 40 now. There's a lot of things happen very quickly. And that's the point, is you can miss a lot of the beauty around you going through life so quickly. But a lot of the truth people are fighting over on social media, all over the internet, in the political world, blah, blah, blah. It's transient. I mean, it's a temporary truth it's trivial, and it really isn't foundational to what we're actually doing here and what it actually means to be a fucking human. That's why I think it's so important to quiet your mind. Start to clear out all the clutter, and that goes with mind, body, soul. It's all one thing. And once you start to clear out the clutter, you realize how much fucking clutter was in there. You never had any idea how much was in there. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to get rid of, and it's painful and it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. If we want our children and our children's children to have a decent world and a decent chance at life, and have a lot of availability and options and ways to express themselves and grow within themselves, the current path we're on sure as fucking shit isn't going to do it. And that's what I think people are waking up to, is like, this is extremely unsustainable. Just that the state of mind that is pressed upon you. We spend so much time seeking things external from ourselves. You know, I want that house. I want that car. I want that woman. I want millions of dollars. Yeah, me too. I want this. I want that. So many things external from us. And then you get it and you're like, oh, wait, there's still a fucking pit of anxiety and depression in my stomach. I thought it would be fixed because I got what I wanted. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Even though the society is a consumerism society, you're just bombarded with a bunch of fucking bullshit that they say is going to make your life better. So you go spend your money on all this shit and nothing happens. But at least you're out there and shopping and buying stuff instead of sitting home on the couch being sad, right? I guess. But that's what needs to be addressed. And again, general statements. Not everyone feels this. I know I've felt it many years. I know other people that absolutely feel this. It's like, is this it? Could this possibly be it? Just go to the American dream is working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, coming home, doing the same thing over and over and over, struggling to pay bills every year that passes, life on repeat. You know, and I'm trying not to be insulting. I lived this life. I have been around. You know, the last few years have been just that. You know, more so after 2020. That was a massive wake up call. But it's like, how could this possibly be it? None of this shit is making me happier. And thank God I found the woman that I did, and she showed me a pathway to go into myself. And I fought that, and I still do. It's fucking hard, and it sucks, and it's lame. It's like meditating. Oh my God, what does that even mean? I have to sit down in a room and fucking think about shit for an hour, and I don't even understand what the hell that is. It's like, you'll get there. It's just a clearing of the mind and going within. Understanding yourself, understanding your weakness, understanding your strength, understanding what has held you back in life, understanding what has made you strong in life. Everything. And there's a lot of people in this world that are extremely judgmental, and it's like, take a look in the fucking mirror, you know? You are being extremely judgmental because you are insecure with yourself. Period. Period. It's classic human psychology. If you're sitting around judging all sorts of people, and hey, I've done this a lot too. If you spend a lot of time judging others, that is a clear signal that you need to look at yourself and what you don't like about yourself and what you're insecure about within yourself. Nobody likes doing that. It's fucking lame, but it's not. That's at face value. That's when you don't understand it. It's lame. When you don't understand any of this, it's like I was saying in the last video, that's weak ass feminine shit. Like, no. Again, people who understand themselves have an extremely good judgment of what's going on outside in the world. And a point I want to make very clear that kind of ties this all together is once you clear the clutter and all the shit inside of you, your intuition becomes much more clear and much more loud. And you are much more clearly able to decipher what is truth in the world and what is absolute bullshit. You are much easier able to pick up on if you're being gaslit, if you're being manipulated, if you're being exploited. And I mean, take a look around. I'm just going to say it. I don't need any more evidence or proof that the powers that be are absolutely heartless, soulless, corrupt, narcissistic pieces of shit that sold their souls for money and power and control. Could they get it back? That's quite an existential question, but I would hope so. Once your intuition doesn't have to fight its way through all the noise and bullshit, the truth within you becomes much more clear. And then your perception of the world just fucking inverses. Automatically, you're like, holy shit. Everything's a fucking psyop. Everything. Maybe not everything. Being performative here, but just about everything you see coming out of the administration right now is a fucking psyop. Even if the Epstein documents are all 100% real and true, they're still using it as a way to control you. They're still trying to use it as a way to propagate fear into society. What's scarier than knowing the powers that be are a cult who worships Satan and operates a child sex trafficking ring? That's pretty fucking crazy. That is wild. That's scary. Now, a great point is once you clear the clutter, you don't live in fear as much. And then once you get to a point, still working on it, but you can keep going and then you can live from a point of being in the present moment and not worrying about what the government's doing or what's happening across the country or what's going on in the world that is dark and tragic and scary, but you can observe it and acknowledge it, but you don't live in a place of fear from knowing those things. And I think it's quite opposite, like tying into what I said, your attention, what you put your attention on is what your energy goes towards. And that's what's brought into your life. So if you live in fear and hatred and judgment and self-doubt, well, yeah, you're probably going to have a pretty shitty life. But if you can acknowledge all those things and understand them and understand human consciousness and have a better grasp of what's going on here, now, there's no way in fucking hell any of us are going to absolutely understand the greatest questions of the universe and the human mind and the human consciousness. There's no possible way within our time frame on this planet. But you can get to a point where most of the time you can live in peace and solitude. Not solitude, but live in peace and understand the greater meaning of being a human being on this planet. Because I think we are so much more than how we identify ourselves. And we're a lot greater than how we identify ourselves. It's like, I know I'm not just some skateboarder dude that does HVAC. It's like, I don't explain myself that way, and I am not those things. I know I am far greater than any nice little label I could put on myself so that you guys can understand me better. It's like, again, that's how society wants to label everything in this world. It's all black and white, and easy to understand. It's like, fuck, no. This place is extremely complex and nuanced. Every topic, every issue, every field of science, every endeavor, everything happening, it's all extremely complex. But especially with people, we're all very complex, and we can't slap labels on each other and then when they act outside of the way of the stereotype of the label you put on them, you're not happy about it. It's like, well, that's because you don't understand. It's because you're trying to simplify something that is extremely fucking complex, and you'll never be able to fully grasp it within the human brain. It doesn't work that way. But the same thing goes with every single person out there. You're not just an architect. You're not just a plumber. You're not just an accountant. You're not just an engineer. You're not just whatever, a professional football player. Doesn't matter. We're all a lot more than that. And we're all capable of being much greater than ourselves. And if there's one thing that I can do just by making these videos is try to open up some awareness and knowledge and attention to that fact that we are all far greater than we perceive ourselves to be. There's a lot of strength in understanding who you are and what you're capable of. And going through that journey will suck, but there will be nothing more gratifying to you as a human being looking back and being like, you know what, I did take that chance. I did go within. I did look at all the shit I don't like about myself. And I fixed it. I took care of it. So you're not sitting on your deathbed being like, now it's all clear. I fucked up. Before you leave this planet, you could be like, fuck yeah. I fucking did it right. You know, it took me some years. It took me a long time. And everyone has their own time frame. No one's late and no one's early. This happens to everyone when it's supposed to. Or it doesn't happen to everyone, you know? Addressing something realistic, it's like not everyone can be saved. That's just the mere fact of human life. It's like we can't all wake up and become better versions of ourselves. Some people are gonna eat up all the propaganda and go deeper and deeper into the dystopian Orwellian matrix smart city world. However, if you don't know about smart city or the WEF, World Economic Forum, I would look into that crap. Bunch of garbage, and it's very dystopian, and they have these agendas and they're very upfront about them, and it's already dystopian to a certain extent. It's Yeah, I could still come out here and we could still do cool shit and live our lives pretty much more or less how we want. But you can see it is becoming quite dystopian. It's fucking weird out there. Anyways, people are waking up to this shit. And if I can help anyone on their journey, I'm absolutely honored. And getting good feedback from you guys was a really good feeling for me. I got a lot of gratitude out of that. That was awesome. So obviously people are hungry for this type of knowledge and information. And it's not, obviously, I'm not the only fucking person on the internet talking about this shit. There are all sorts of people on the internet talking about this shit. But again, you have to be careful because there are a lot of fucking nut job spiritual gurus out there that are just going to tell you a bunch of fucking nonsense. And I'm not a spiritual guru, okay? That's just the term I'm using here. But going back to your authority and your agency, I don't care who your favorite influencer or content creator on YouTube is or whatever the fuck. You have to question whether or not they are feeding you the right information. Just like with this video right now, you should absolutely 100% question what I am telling you. And if it doesn't align with you, if you don't think it aligns with you, then God bless and don't watch my videos anymore. But if it does, go deeper into that. And you should be doing that with every institution in society, every government, every authority that claims to be the supreme knowledge of whatever industry it is, whether it be medicine or health or science, whatever. We should be at the point where we're questioning all of it, except the basic, obvious facts about the world. I'm sure you can make your own interpretation of that, but we should be questioning, at the very least, all of authority and what their agenda is. Where are they coming from? And I'm talking about the high ups, not like, you should be questioning everybody, but there's nuance in what I'm saying here so you don't get pissed off and get your feelings hurt. Like, not all authority is bad. What we label as authority, like, for example, the other day I had a very profound and positive and good interaction with a a game warden a couple weeks ago, who would be a state official, a state officer, and it was an incredible engagement we had. And it's like, I'm extremely thankful, because I'm a hunter, extremely thankful that there are people out there like that, watching out for poachers, watching over our public land, and doing it because they're passionate about it. And that, yeah, I would see that person as a figure of authority. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. We should be questioning a lot of what we have absorbed in our lives up to this point. So take that how you will. But we all know something ain't right. The one thing we can all do, whether you're at your home, whether you're at work, whether you're in your vehicle, driving to work, it doesn't matter. You can do this anywhere. Perfect place out here to do it is just find some time every day to quiet yourself, quiet your mind, turn off a podcast, turn off Instagram, and just go within yourself and see what comes in. I promise you will find more truth within yourself than the truth you seek externally. All right. That was a pretty good ender right there, so I'm going to leave it at that. Love you guys. Thank you. Stay safe. God bless. Keep going. Don't live in fear. Be grateful. Keep pushing yourselves. It'll all be worth it. All right. See ya.